This is Investor Ideas at CoinAgenda 2016 in Las Vegas, a conference for both mainstream investors new to Bitcoin and blockchain investments, as well as experienced investors in digital currency. Here today with us is Ron Boesing, CEO of OpenLedger and also the founder and CEO of Bitcoin exchange CCEDK. Ron shares knowledge and insight on the exponentially evolving world of cryptocurrency and talks about some of the ICOs, initial coin offerings, he's working with and how investors like you can participate.
Well, I did something like 25 years in the music industry, and the upset back in 2008 where, well, the whole world economy kind of collapsed in a way. The music industry really suffered badly, and the partnership we had building a record label suffered also very badly at that time. So we had to close down in 2009 our record company and all that. And it took me basically something like 2 years to realize in which direction I wanted to go. At that point, it was like saying, you know, with the 25 years of music industry in the back, it's hard for somebody like me to actually even get into an ordinary job. There's too much excitement in that music industry. So from 2011 until 2014, I actually decided to go the school way again. So I went back to taking a bachelor education called Export Technology Management, and combining that with a work in the weekends in a 5-star hotel resort in the north of Denmark. 2014, early that year, I started listening to Bitcoin, the mentioning of Bitcoin among my fellow students, Litecoin, etc. And at that time I said, well, it's just something just like anything else, but just talk. Yeah. Then I had my partner back from the 90s in the music industry connect with me and actually say, what if we do Bitcoin exchange? I came up with the idea of creating this Bitcoin exchange. I'm ready to support it with capital. I thought of UK, Germany, and Denmark. And what do you know? My best friend lives in Denmark, so that's why I'm connecting with you. So I kind of took on the job of building a Bitcoin exchange at that time out of Denmark. And from day one, it was like every day, you know, high pressure of inputs from everywhere. A very exciting time, even from the very early start. And one can imagine if you don't know anything about cryptocurrency, and then suddenly you get all that input. It was a total excitement. I felt since I started until now, in this, you know, a little more than 2 years, that all the experiences, all the inputs, all the knowledge that I gained has really given me more than the 25 years I spent in the music industry. And that takes you down back to the fact that when you are speaking technology inside the cryptocurrency sphere, it's like every day counts. Every week is different. So you cannot wait weeks or months to act on something. You have to really act within a few weeks. And that's made this kind of journey really exciting. It's also like saying at the moment, I'm celebrating like a 1-year anniversary from when we started OpenLedger, this decentralized exchange that we started on October 13th. We had still CCEDK, the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin exchange in Denmark at that time, but the whole idea was to kind of phase out CCEDK and focus full on the decentralized exchange OpenLedger, and connect that with all the values we had from CCEDK, fiat, gateway, cryptocurrency, a gateway as such as well. And right now, at this point, we have a decentralized exchange connected to fiat gateway, a cryptocurrency gateway. We have a bunch of ecosystems, all of them connected to that platform, OpenLedger. And all of that has happened within 1 year. And we are even not done yet. So within 1 year, I guess we've created 3 digital tokens, all of them with each their own value. We've created something like 4 to 5 platforms. And those 4 platforms and those 3 digital tokens are all part of an ecosystem called OpenLedger Decentralized Conglomerate. So that's where we basically are at the moment when we are here in Las Vegas introducing 3 token crowd sales for the future.
About some of the current ICOs that you're working with, and also for an average investor, they probably haven't even heard of an ICO, so what would differentiate that from an IPO and how they can participate? Because most investors can't really participate in an IPO. You have to have a very privileged relationship typically.
Yes, and I think that at the early stage when we started this crowdfunding service on the base of a digital token called ICO, OpenLedger actually, we had the basic feeling that we wanted to go out and offer a solution to a need. And this solution to a need was, first of all, or one of them, or the major one, was to offer anyone investing into an ICO to have an exit option and to be able to trade from day one that they actually buy into the ICO. So we were kind of aiming at the amount of traders and people really enjoying this kind of easy life of changing from one currency to another. Then we added another point, which was to offer some of the revenue that we got from this crowdfunding service to the ICO holders as such. So the second part of this was to say, you don't necessarily need to invest in a crowdfunding or an ICO as such. All you need is actually to invest in the ICO itself. Because what we do is go in and offer our services, and in exchange we receive tokens. Those tokens that are actually created for each ICO, we receive a part in payment. Part of that we keep as a portfolio of its own. So we're actually creating a kind of a crypto index of our services. We're of course always selling off some of it in order to pay for the services that we do. But in the end, we are recouping those costs once each ICO is actually becoming reaching a launch state, where we are then actually able to sell some of it to get back to status quo. I lost a little part of the question there, but it's because I'm excited to explain what's all going on. Yeah.
For a typical IPO, the average small retail investor can't participate. So what are the minimum investments, and can anyone participate in these ICOs?
In general, everyone can participate in these ICOs because you're doing it mainly on the base of cryptocurrencies. The moment you start entering into fiat payments, you will be needing kind of validation. We do KYC procedures on OpenLedger, but when it comes to crypto, it's still an open country as such, or open, what do you call that? It's open to everybody, yeah? So it allows anybody to enter, and normally we say many times 0.1 Bitcoin as a minimum, but in general there is no minimum. It's like saying, do you say no to 1,000 small ones if that actually makes 10 big ones or whatever? Yeah. So I never say no to to a buy of any kind, because it might actually just be a test. Later on, it might actually bring the big one. So I'm open to many of these smaller buy-ins because I always see any of them as a test for something bigger. So anybody is welcome on OpenLedger, that is. It might be different from the different ICOs presented. They may have their own rules and minimums. And the thing we're talking here is that we have two different models of crowdfunding. We have the crowdfunding where we are supporting a project outside of OpenLedger, a cryptocurrency, you might say, of its own, where we are saying we offer you the media coverage, the escrow service, so that we can support the project and tell the world that we make sure that the project does what it promises. Yeah? But we are also offering that buy in early or buy and then trade on day one and offer the exit options. So that is for the general cryptocurrencies or projects outside. When you're then deciding to actually go all in and become or actually invest or create an asset on the platform we have, OpenLedger, it suddenly becomes more like an incubator version, where you're saying you're basically you're having a product on the platform, and it's and all you do is really happening there, and immediately at the end of the ICO, it's, you know, you can start trading it, but you can in fact also trade it from day one. So if you can say there's a difference, yeah, that's a subscription service. I mean, actually the outside, we're not talking the asset now, but we're talking all the outside projects. I can speak about one that we have now called Sense. It is a gift card platform. It actually offers all users the possibilities to hand in their used or partly used gift cards and get an amount in return called Gold Bucks. And with that, you are then actually able to choose whatever other kind of gift card on the platform, the one that you like, and actually then buy it with the Gold Bucks. Yeah, a totally, you know, really simple but very strong solution for anyone who's sitting there with gift cards that they don't like.
So
okay.
Can you just list a few of the ICOs that you're dealing with and that you've
Yes,
worked with?
I could say that throughout this, you know, this event of Money 2020 and CoinAgenda, we've been introducing 3 ICOs in this time, and we managed to actually even in the same time bring out 3 articles for the same projects. The first one we introduced was within the gaming industry, an esports game called Beyond the Void. That one was interesting basically because it's the first kind of ICO where we've been involved with the gaming part. And we thought it interesting also the way of the structure where we are able to offer our service subscribing on OpenLedger, and at the same time they can order directly on the Beyond the Void side. So there are 2 ways of actually ordering into this coin. Then we have the next one called Sense, which is basically based on the gift card whole, you know, system, and that one allows you to actually buy into the ICO directly on OpenLedger. They have their own currency there, and that would be we will actually initiate that sometime end of November, this ICO, on early bird actually. The Beyond the Void starts actually on the November 1st. Then we have the last one, which was also presented here today as one of the competitors in the BitAngels competition, called AppTrade, and that's a platform presenting the stock market of apps. Very interesting one. but for most people it is perhaps one that takes a bit of time to understand. It's quite dense. That one is also sold and offered on OpenLedger. It is, however, based on the kind of style where you buy into a master coin and then you have it kind of frozen. You cannot trade that for 1 year. There will then be assets created out of that master coin that you can trade within 2 to 3 months after.